Right now, a look into the popularity of podcasts.
But whoever comes on, they have to be down to talk about whatever topic we're talking about.
Okay.
So if we're like, I want to know about your toxic ex-boyfriends.
From taboo topics to creating a safe space for listeners.
Get in here.
Get in here. We enter the Super Secret Bestie Club.
Plus, in the chat.
This is so random. I'm sorry. What kind of texter are you?
And all of her exes cry to her songs.
We got unfinished business that I wish we could finish.
Pop star Neriah dishes on her first headlining tour and a really unique fan base.
As an artist, like, we wouldn't be where we are without them.
All that plus so much more tonight. Welcome to This Arizona's Family original with me, Yetta Gibson.
In each episode, we'll talk about love, friendship, heartbreaks, men, and of course, our favorite secrets.
Get in here.
I love them, the ease of popping on a podcast and feeling a little less alone. Tonight I sit down with a duo behind one series all about the beauty of friendship. And one of its creators is from right here in Phoenix. Check this out.
We're all human and want to connect in some way. Podcasters have figured out very effective ways of doing just that with millions of people across the globe. SiriusXM Media published a report, The Echoes of Influence, How Podcasts Are Redefining Engagement. In this report, one fan said, it's weird how you can feel like you know someone through their podcast, like a friend you're chatting with at dinner.
I skip leg day, but I have really juicy legs, but I don't have a so that's...
You don't?
I mean, I have like...
Spoiler alert.
Taboo topics, a guaranteed way podcasters suck people in.
Getting revenge on people. And it's just getting yours. It's just getting back at them.
Curly Velásquez and Maya Murillo
My name is Curly.
And I'm Maya.
are the duo behind the Super Secret Bestie Club podcast, streaming almost everywhere, like Apple, iHeartMedia, and Spotify. They go from tackling serious topics like the Israel-Palestine conflict to chaotic dating tips.
I'm a Capricorn, so beware.
Oh my God, don't listen to the podcast.
Overly specific horoscope personalities is how we started our conversation.
So we're like, which sign is most likely to not be exclusive with their partner or
and who
want
wants
to be
it.
exclusive?
Yeah. Who's good in relationships?
Capricorns are very business
Okay.
savvy. And
So are we bad in
See,
relationships?
and I said you guys are good in relationships. I think you guys would be. You guys get very protective.
But they want to check all the boxes. Like, they're not just gonna be with anyone for the long run.
So are we good or bad? I'm confused.
You're good. You're
We're
good.
good.
We,
Okay.
actually, we also drag Pisces.
Pisces.
How did you guys become a pair?
The story of how these two came together on this podcast is just as interesting as the topics they cover.
Oh, well, we became coworkers years ago at BuzzFeed.
Okay.
BuzzFeed, long considered one of the premier digital media companies in the world, focuses on news and entertainment. Maya and Curly were part of the company's Pero Like channel, one of the first ever online platforms to focus solely on Latinx culture.
I moved from Phoenix, Arizona at 23 and just like wanted to work there. I was a resident there for 3 months, and on my orientation day, our team actually like forgot that I was there. And he came down the stairs and was like, oh, and you describe it as like trying to pick up like your baby sister.
I felt like my baby sister underneath the Christmas tree. Like, oh, I was so excited to come down and meet her and get to know her and bring her onto the team. And we kind of found right away that our humor was very similar.
Right.
Like, and then we would just sit next to each other for like our career.
My
there.
entire career at BuzzFeed, I was sat next to him.
Yeah.
They immediately became best friends.
We just always had like long conversations on the phone that were like, wait, this is kind of like, we should have our own podcast.
Yeah.
And then one day we're like, wait,
we really
should have our own podcast.
I mean, it's kind of weird because in our conversations, we talk about real stuff that matter, right? Like our spirit, like broken hearts, love, friendship.
You were talking about this at work.
Yes. And then, oh yeah, absolutely. I would come into work and be like, girl, I went on a date and it was awful.
The rest, as they say, is history.
I mean, we manifested it. And so now it's, what, year 3?
Yeah, year 3.
Or season 3?
Yeah. And we wanted the show to feel like you're hanging out with your best friends in a tree house, but it's like we're 12 years old.
A safe space, no judgment.
Curly and Maya's podcast quickly started attracting listeners, and it's no surprise the two had raked up millions of views through funny and relatable online videos for years, both through BuzzFeed and on their own channels.
Oh no, I almost did it then. And I got too nervous. We're not best friends.
Their goal, helping people work through hard to discuss topics, something that hits close to home.
You know, we're basically storytelling on the podcast of our experiences and our lives, and we're pulling from those moments that we're healed from, but we want to share because we know somebody is going through maybe the same thing. You know, loneliness is such a real thing, and I think that's like the biggest thing that we want to attract is those people who like need that kind of comfort. And we're, you know, we're both queer and Latino and Latine, and there's different categories that I feel like people need representation.
And we talk about healing a lot. I'm very open about talking about struggles with addiction, but I think talking about how I live with sobriety and talking about, I just did a TikTok where that's people are using a lot, where I talk about certain tips about trying to stay sober.
That SiriusXM report also points out almost 70% of podcasters stay engaged to keep the content fresh and relevant. And most people tuning in crave that type of connection no matter where they are during their day.
We always acknowledge those who are in transit, driving.
Yes, or on the toilet.
Or on the toilet.
Or if people told you that I was on the toilet, I wasn't transit.
Well, that's where I listen to my podcast.
Which is why a day in the life of these two seems fun when you watch or listen, but it can be pretty hectic.
Is your day hectic? What do you do? How does your day start?
It starts the day before because we have to write our outlines. We shoot 2 episodes a day, like every week. And so we will like, it's kind of difficult because we both have ADHD and we're also best friends. So when we're brainstorming for the outline, we're like, okay, before we get into work, I have to tell you everything that happened. And then it's like an hour in and we're like, oh no, okay, let's do work. Yes.
I'm just really weird. I can't even tell you how weird I am.
Maya, who are you talking to?
See? I'm just really weird. You don't even know.
That's so weird.
Who are you dreaming of having on the show?
Oh my God, we want
Suzette Quintanilla.
Sure. We hit her up, like, come hang out with us. I feel like I want everyone. Like, I want like Ricki Lake to come on.
Ricki Lake.
And of course, we want like big people too. It would be nice.
Name them now. This is national stuff.
Ricki Martin.
It could be cool to have like a president on there at some point. But whoever comes on, they have to be down to talk about whatever topic we're talking about.
Okay.
So if we're like, I want to know about your toxic ex-boyfriends, let's do it.
Which means this duo plans to keep those edgy topics coming.
Or like ghosting, you know, like ghosting when you're dating somebody and you just like stop answering their text messages or their phone calls after the first date. I'm a big ghoster, like just ghost. Like, and she's very like, you're insane, do not ghost, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they'll get over it, they're fine. Everyone.
That is so Virgo of you.
So we're gonna be playing Smash or Pass with some eligible bachelors.
What are you hoping to achieve a year from now? Where are you hoping you will be?
I would say, like, I would love to keep growing authentically, right? Being ourselves and allowing other people to see themselves in us and go like, you don't have to change. You can be you. You can be open about all your wins, but also all your losses and what you can learn from all your losses.
Like, is it a TV show?
Right.
You know, is it like something?
I can see that.
We could see it too.
So maybe a TV show?
Let's manifest it. That's our next manifestation.
What's your advice to people who, because it sounds like you took a big leap of faith.
It was very scary, but I think the biggest thing running through my mind at the time was like this, I feel aligned with this. I don't feel scared. I feel scared, I feel excited, but I trust in my ability. You know, and when you're kind of like trust falling with your best friend, it's like, we're doing this together, let's go, okay.
Let's go,
Is that what you're calling it, a trust fall?
Trust fall, yeah.
Everything's a trust
fall. My
fall.
Virgo advice is dip your toe in. You know, dip your toe in, dip your little foot in, do it at your own pace, however you feel happy, but just do it.
Just do it. And you can listen to Maya and Curly's podcast on all streaming platforms, or you can also watch their full episode recordings on YouTube. Coming up in the chat this week. Do you respond right away, or do you take a while to text back? And in tonight's Not Done Yetta.
than the movies said it'd be.
A pop princess on the rise.
The best thing for me about touring is
Neriah opens up about life on the road and making music from the heart. All that when this Arizona's Family original with me, Yetta Gibson, returns.
All right, it's time for In the Chat, and in this portion of the show, we take you through some hot headlines that have all of us talking. And today we got two guests entering the chat. We got Scott Passmore. Can you believe it? Simone is here.
Simone, big time.
Scott, this is your first time.
This is it.
So the first topic I put online, I want people to talk to me online.
Okay.
So here it is. So random. I'm sorry. What kind of texter are you? Do you respond right away, or do you take a while to text back, maybe because you're busy or just because you don't feel like it? Something came out today about slow texters versus quick texters. Slow texters are emotionally unavailable. Quick texters care more. Which one are you? Okay, a lot of you responded to this one. Here's what you had to say. One of you said, I respond right away or try to call rather than having to go back and forth. Another one of you said it depends on who's texting you. And one of you admitted, yeah, it is. You're both quick and slow texter. You're both. You're a hybrid. Lastly, someone replied to us and said, text me and find out.
That's a great one.
That is a good one. Okay, so Scotty, before you get on me, because if you know me, you know what type of texter I am. What type of texter are you?
I get a text about a week later. I am a super fast texter.
Yes.
I have to admit, I've always lived by if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late.
Yes.
And I blame partly on the job because we do everything
Right.
down to the second.
That is true.
I am way fast.
Yeah, and you do that because you care about the other person, or is it because you're always on your phone?
Well, it's probably that. It's a little bit of both, but out of habit too. But I don't like it when I don't get a text back.
yeah.
Yikes.
Sorry,
I
Yetta.
feel attacked. Simone, what about you?
So I have a really good girlfriend. We know if we text her, the whole friend group knows 3 to 5 business days at least.
Really?
So she's the same.
It's that young, be cool, go on a date, I'll call her a week later. That's what that is.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think if somebody asks me something and I have the answer right away, of course I'll answer. But maybe they say, hey, are you free Saturday? And I was like, well, I got to check my calendar. I got to check with my schedule. I got to see what's going on.
I get that.
So it depends what the question is.
I just have so many text messages, and my kids, they text like this, Mom, then I have to say yes. then they go on, and it goes on and on. Then it's work, then it's friends, then it's people in Atlanta on the East Coast, a different time zone.
Yeah.
So I always think I'm gonna get back to them.
I know, and then you forget.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody out there is gonna go, you're full of, you never texted me back. That does happen. I fail, but most often it's right away. So I'm not gonna text Simone anymore. How you doing, Simone?
Give
A
me
week
more
later.
chances.
Okay.
Who are you? I don't have this number
That
anymore.
happens a lot.
All right, thanks for calling me out. That was great. All right, turning now to something we all may have felt at one point or another. I'm talking about imposter syndrome. I've been asked this a lot, but pop star Justin Bieber is the latest celebrity to get candid with his followers online. In an Instagram post, he revealed he feels like a fraud. Despite all of the awards he's gotten, all the fame he has, he says people have told him his whole life that he deserves things, but he feels unworthy. So obviously there's been speculation that there are some deeper issues there with Justin, but my question to you is, have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome? You understand that?
I think I'm the ultimate.
You are?
Yeah, I just feel like I grew up on a farm in Kansas and I'm still there. I mean, for the longest time, people would come up to me in public and go, hey, I really like watching you or whatever, and I actually would go, how do you know me?
Right,
I mean,
right.
you
forget.
I mean, I never make a big deal out of it. I'm just this good old boy.
And that's true. He is. He's very, very down to earth, very normal.
Yeah.
And that's something to be said about people on TV. And Simone, what about you?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's hard. You know how it is, especially being a woman. Like, we face a lot of challenges.
For sure.
I feel like we have to work really hard, especially being young, too. You have to prove yourself, and sometimes you're like, is this all just going to disappear one day?
Yeah.
Like, it's so, you work so hard for your career, and then you finally get what you wanted, and you're like, I can't believe this is real.
Yeah. Do you feel a little bit better now versus when you started on TV, when you were younger? Scott said it doesn't go away with age.
It's funny.
And he's older than, just a little bit older than
Everybody.
Just a little.
Go ahead, it's okay. You'll get there.
I'm sure you know, like when you look back at your demo tapes that you sent out when you were in your early 20s, you're like, I can't believe somebody hired me off that.
Yeah.
I
So
still feel that way.
I do too. I mean, I can't say for sure that I have imposter syndrome. I worked really hard to get here. However, I think that I never feel cool that I'm on TV. I would never treat anybody any less than anybody else. Most of the time when people do go, hey, I like you on TV, and I forget that I'm actually the girl on TV.
It's a good attitude
You
to
know,
have.
so that's how I feel about that.
Because every once in a while you hear somebody, oh, he's got a big ego.
Yeah.
You never want to be that person.
Right, you don't. And that's a big deal to me to have people feel that way. All right. So from not feeling good enough to gifting a gaffe. One man is making headlines for posting about his relationship issue on Reddit. So this man says he feels ungrateful after turning down a gift from his girlfriend, but he had already told her he didn't want a gift. Turns out his girlfriend is angry, and he said she gives him a lot of gifts, and giving isn't his love language. So my question is, do you ever turn down a gift? Is it okay? Have you ever been on the other side, vice versa? I don't know about that. I mean, what kind of gift? I guess I would ask that, but we don't know.
True.
So, would you turn down a gift from a girlfriend?
From a girlfriend?
From many.
No, bring it on. No, I am always like, no, please don't get me anything. I always take that.
Yeah, I am too.
Because I don't need anything, and buy yourself something.
But what about that person who went through all of that to get you the gift?
I'll play that game and then take it.
I think with gifts, it's like the thoughtful gift is always better than the expensive. Like when somebody gives you something really expensive, you feel like kind of weird, right? Because you're like, I know how much that costs and that's too much. But if you put thought into something and it's heartfelt and it's sentimental and you didn't spend all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think that's a better type of gift.
So the girlfriend was angry that he turned it down. Would you be angry if somebody turned down your gift because they were like Simone going, oh, that's too much, you did too much? Would you feel upset?
I would have the attitude, I tried really hard, so please don't ever come back at me on that.
Right, so take it back, get your money back, and it's all
as long as you got the receipt and you can return it and get your money back. If not, you're keeping it.
So we're all on the same page with that. Scotty, how do you feel?
Oh, this is awesome. Can we keep going?
Yeah, no,
that's
we're done. This is it. I promise I'll text you faster.
Don't you know who I am?
I do.
I heard about
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Good stuff. Thank you guys for being
Thank
here.
you.
Coming up. A pop princess on the rise. Coming up next, one-on-one with Neriah. The singer dishes on her new tour, fans, and about being raised in the limelight. All right.
That was
You
awesome.
did great. That was awesome. See, I knew you'd be very.
See, it's not.
Now I'm your agent.
I love how sweet she is. I've had a couple conversations with her on Instagram. There was like DMs, and she's such a sweetheart. You know, like she just cares about her fans.
A lot of people like to say like, oh, I've been there since like day one. I've been a day one fan for them, but then like I've never been able to say that. So like now I kind of say that I am.
Just to see her be like part of the like building blocks of like who she's gonna be, because I feel like she's gonna be big.
Hear that? A fan base so loyal, they know this pop star is about to hit it big. I'm talking about Neriah. The first time we caught a glimpse of her was when she opened up for Madison Beer at the Van Buren. This was last summer. And since then, she has gained even more traction. Simone, you got the one-on-one with her.
Oh, yes. She is such a sweetheart, and everything her fans say about her really is true. I got to sit down with Neriah. She visited the Valley on her brand new tour, and she opened up about everything from her upbringing to writing music that hurts and heals.
Used to pick me up at dark, now I'm crying in my car.
25-year-old Neriah is the latest pop princess to hit the music scene.
So I've been writing literally since I was born. My parents said that I started singing before I started to talk, and I wrote my first song when I was 5 years old.
The singer-songwriter sitting down with us, reflecting on her childhood and pursuing a career in the limelight.
My whole entire family, like everyone is so supportive, and I think that is like the most amazing thing. Like they really go above and beyond for me.
Neriah and her family are not strangers to Hollywood. She's the daughter of TV personality Brooke Burke and extreme makeover plastic surgeon Garth Fisher.
Do you think growing up in Hollywood gave you kind of the foundation to pursue something like this? I think for sure, like growing up and going to events and seeing everything, I think especially when my mom was on Dancing with Stars, like being able to watch, you know, those performances that were definitely inspired me to be like, okay, I want to do this one day.
Eventually, Neriah was mentored by music icons Philip Lawrence and Babyface. But before she could saddle up in the music studio, her dad made her a deal.
He had this whole thing where he was like, look, like if you want to do music, like if you can graduate a year early with straight A's and be the top of your class, like I won't give you a hard time about like doing music. And so I was like, fine, like I'm gonna go do that.
And now the young star is making a name for herself, embarking on her first headline tour, making a stop here in the Valley of the Sun.
The best thing for me about touring is like you really see what songs everyone loves the most and what they're going to be screaming, and unreleased songs. It's so much fun to be able to play them and see, you know, what they gravitate towards.
Neriah's songs certainly striking a chord with her listeners, writing about love and loss.
We got unfinished business.
I think relationships, like that's kind of just been my thing. A lot of fans are like, if you're going through a breakup, listen to Neriah's song.
In fact, her Instagram bio reads, "My exes cried to my songs." But right now, she tells me heartbreak isn't on the table.
What's your status now? Are we dating, single?
Dating, which is amazing. I've been with my boyfriend for over 2 years. He's incredible. We actually do all of my music together. So he's my producer, and we met in a session like 3 years ago. And then writing my album, we like fell in love.
Her fans affectionately called the noodles, stemming from her love of ramen, supporting her every step of the way.
I think to fans, and I tell everyone this, I'd say don't be scared to post on social media. Like, especially the world that we're living in right now, if you want to do anything, like, you have to post.
All right, you guys.
I love the connection that you have with your fans too, because, you know, I was looking at some of your vlogs and you're just like eating ramen and you're like being so real. Like, what is your kind of inspiration behind that connection with your fans?
I think it honestly started when I was 13 and I was so used to doing vlogs and it was kind of all I knew. So I was like, I didn't care if I woke up, I didn't have makeup on, or I was eating food. They love it, and I think it's so important to realize, like, as an artist, like, we wouldn't be where we are without them. For me to be doing this independently and by myself and being able to show them, like, anyone can do this. Like, if you have a dream, like, go follow it, because you just never know what is gonna happen.
Oh, she is great.
She's so cool,
beautiful,
right?
And the songs are catchy.
Yes, so talented. She definitely has a bright future ahead of her. In fact, this summer, you can catch her on Daniel Seavey's Second Wind tour. Pictured here, we're very excited
I'm
for
excited. I got a good feeling about her and her career. Thank you so much, Simone. And thank you for joining us for this Arizona's Family Original. You can connect with me, Simone, on Instagram. You'll find all of the behind-the-scenes stuff with everybody you just saw. We will see you again real soon.